Hello, everyone out there in sexy Trekyards land. How you doing today?
That's how we start every show, by complimenting everyone's sex appeal. That is classic us, right?
Right, it is now.
Only the sexiest percentage of fans watch Trekyards, so if you're here,
It's true. It's
then
true.
you know. Then you know.
It's true. The Trekyardians are a sexy bunch. So, hi guys, welcome back. It is time for us to talk to you again
For fun,
live.
Trekyards fun.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
been 24 hours and 6 minutes since we went last live.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Better today. Like I said, I got some stuff done today. I got more accomplished today than yesterday, so that's always a good thing.
Yep.
Still could have fit more in, but still needed some downtime. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bad at downtime because for me it's like downtime or tick another thing off. Especially with render layers, it's like if I just go 1 hour longer, the thing will render. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's a curse and whatever. But yeah, I got some good stuff too. I'm actually just before we went live, I was apart from food, I was designing or doing next pass on a NX era fighter, and on a phaseable turret, which I'm doing for another project. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
doing well, I think.
Well, well, welcome back, guys. Love to see you guys. And Fleetpaw Swiftback already throws in
Oh,
$1.99. Thank you, Fleetpaw. Good way to start the show, gents. Good evening.
yes,
Yes.
super and or duper.
Or all the above.
So yeah, we were obviously at Vegas, doing our
We
thing.
were. We were.
We saw the first ever. It was kind of fun. It's nice to be part of the history.
I didn't really hear much of that because it went all on me. But that's okay. And you're frozen now.
I said, well, I'm not. Okay, but
Well,
no,
on my end, yeah. I'm just saying.
I said it's I said it might end up being one of our favorite, like in our top 4 shows of all Trek. As a potential, getting good vibes off the panel.
Yeah, here's hoping. Like I wasn't, as you know, when I saw the animation style from San Diego, I wasn't super hyped to see it.
Or the
But now,
opposite, completely underwhelmedly, hypedly, didn't give a shit, hated it, blah.
yeah. But now, having heard the panel, I'm excited. It's going to be fun. I think we did learn a few things in the panel, which is good. We're going to talk about those and what that might mean. So,
And it's so cool to be able to have the thumbnail, which is a picture I took of the entire writing staff.
yeah,
Cool.
that's great. That's great.
I owned that picture because I took it. and there's a bit closer than you got, Stuart.
Yeah, I was still sitting in our seats way back where, but that's okay.
Like a good attendee, whereas I was doing my own separate thing.
So, but are you going to share this around while I vamp?
Can try to. Yeah. Let's lower the bitrate a little bit because we probably don't need it. It's better just to be there than to be snazzy bitrate. Because like I say, we're trying this out, guys. I know my internet's garbage right now because the router died and we got a new router, and it's just worse. It's just giving like 10% of the speed for no discernible reason. But yes, sucks. I can. A little bit. But it says we're green. It says we're green 6 frames a second, so I mean, it says we're doing well.
Well, the chat says it's buffering, it's freezing, sound going off and on, but we'll fix it. We'll fix
fine
it.
On my end. And you're fine, and the stream says fine, so we'll see.
Alright, cool.
But yes, I'll share.
Alright, cool. Well, guys, as usual, I'm here to tell you to super chat. Super chats are important. They get your voice heard, your question answered. They get you out there. Plus, we can see it in a separate window, which is awesome because the chat flies by pretty quickly. So if you want to ask us a question or say something, please consider super chatting. It helps out the channel and helps us continue creating content for you guys and coming on and sharing our live thoughts with you guys as well. So it's very important. There's also other ways to help us. You can support us. There's many links down below. Check those out. If you want to send us a PayPal donation instead, there is that option. And then we will still read your question or comment via the PayPal online. Just alert us that it was sent, and then we will know. So there you go. But yeah, oh no, there it is. It's back. It's good. So while you were frozen, I didn't know if I should keep talking. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, as I said, I was not super looking forward to Lower Decks. I mean, I was when it initially got announced. I thought, cool. And then I saw the animation style, and I kind of went, oh no, 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 not good. But this panel really kind of rejuvenized my excitement for it because they seemed excited. They seemed to have a plan laid out before them. They know what they wanted going into this, and I think that's fantastic. So yeah, I'm super stoked to see what they come up with. We did get some great little tidbits in the conversation. Again, no reveals though. I would have liked to have seen something new, some kind of animation, maybe seen the ship or something. That being said, we did get the ship class and ship name, but we'll talk about those in a second. But yeah, something would have been nice. We did see the characters blink. They didn't blink in San Diego. They've since installed blinking. All the character animations on the big screen that they were showing had blinking added, so that was a big thing. So the characters will blink. That is a exclusive thing that we learned at Star Trek Las Vegas. So we weren't sure before that, we just weren't sure that the characters would blink. So there you go.
And we all know that just like the Ewoks in the remasters of Star Wars, blinking makes it always better.
It does. They even added blinking to the Gorn in Arena, and it looks so much better.
Did they really?
They did. Yes, they did.
Did not. Okay.
Yeah. WP Sam 52 says, newbie question, but how do I super chat? Well, there's a little dollar sign there underneath the chat. Whether you're on mobile or your PC, there's a little dollar sign. You click that, you can select the amount you want, and then based on the amount, you can make your question or whatever longer or whatever. So that's the way to do it. And if you want, you feel free to do so. That'd be awesome.
Yes, we definitely rely on them, and especially after Vegas, a lot of money was spent on food and such, and it's good to work back on that. But I have got some images. I mean, they're just sort of it's the cast again. And I will show a little tease of one of the clips that I took from Lower Decks, and we can talk about, if I find them again, the cast, I guess, because now they gave tidbits about everyone rather than just being, people. And obviously I've done all the graphics already, so I can just bring up my graphics I've pre-made. That's useful.
Well, that helps, yeah. Yeah. If I can remember everything they said about the cast, I was more focused on the ship information and the primary mission.
That much information.
I know, but it was good. We do have a super chat though, two of them. One from Eugene, 1,000 rubles. So thank you very much, Eugene. Welcome back. Yay, non-static voice only stream. Things are getting better. Well, sorry, we'll deal with it. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I've halved the bit rate, but
as long as they can hear us, that's the vital thing, and that never seems to be much of a problem. So,
and it's sad because you are perfectly crystal, OBS is perfectly crystal, and those are the two things I can control.
Yeah,
that's all I can control.
That's how mine was yesterday, and you're a little bit fuzzy and choppy on my Skype right now, but that's okay.
I've done the blurry background because the green.
Well, no,
again.
Even your face is not high. It's not anyway.
Luckily, it is for everyone else. They get to see my pretty face. Although I want to jump in a question, and you need to answer it, Stuart. Joseph or Jose Gutierrez. Sorry about that. I'm crap. So what are the chances? Yes, exactly. What are the chances that Picard will dust off an old Miranda class for his hero ship in season 2? Stuart, what are the chances?
0.
Correct.
I mean, maybe 0.1 or something. There's a maybe slight chance.
There's no reason at all,
No, there's not.
They're not gonna. They wouldn't even get any fan cred because no one knows.
Although I think it may be an ongoing joke in Lower Decks that the Miranda classes are like doomed. They're like the red shirts of the fleet.
Maybe. That'd be fun.
I can see that being an ongoing humor thing. So
if they're that tied into the Trek community to get that, that'd be great.
Oh, they should be. They should be.
Every wreck they find, every debris field is always Miranda pieces. Like 9 times out of 10, and besides that, it's like a D7 or a Constitution kit bash.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if you had like the shittiest kit bashes as well? Like literally, because I mean, wouldn't that be fun though to say? Because I know the animated series went kind of everywhere and nowhere with their designs, and kind of cool and also like okay. But wouldn't it be kind of fun if this is post TNG? a couple of the ships are genuinely just, we're gonna, it's 3D animated, so we're gonna build the whole TNG fleet in 3D and then put that shit together and make a few weird kit bashes that look like it, but just like, yeah, this is a ship of the era. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, Jarzia puts in $5 Canadian. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Still skeptical, and I still don't like the animation style, but like with the animated series, animation will let them tell almost any story, absent budget concerns. Pretty much, yeah. This isn't going to be the same kind of writing as we saw in the animated series, though. The animated series was very much following suit with what we'd seen in TOS as far as story content goes and just ideas. This one's going to be a lot more lighthearted. So,
yes.
But yes, they can definitely add any aliens they want, anything like that. They don't have to worry about budgetary concerns that way.
And the very fact they have a cetacean tells you a lot. Although it's not necessarily anyone's favorite race, it shows that they can do other parts of canon. And
a catation, not cetacean.
Cetacean ops. Cetacean cats. Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
He even said, there you go, reveal. And let me swap to a picture of the main producer guy, because I got good vibes off him, I will say. And I'm not necessarily judgy, but I say it how I see it. Let me just jump to a video of that guy. Boop boop. Or here we go. So that's my premiere. And did you actually go back and look at these clips, Stuart? Because you've got everything I got.
I have not really looked at them yet. No.
So here's an exclusive clip from Vegas in full high def. Oh yeah, it's really quiet because I always forget it's really quiet because the Skype overrides sound levels.
But before that, just to get your Star Trek bona fides in, you had done some unorthodox Star Trek writing. Your first entree into the Star Trek universe was, in fact, a Twitter feed. I don't know how many people remember the Star Trek Season 8 Twitter feed. Woo! Woo! Season 8! All right, the Season 8 Twitter feed, that was this guy's...
And Stuart will get why I clapped when it comes around in the live stream.
I'm not listening to live, so...
Oh, he was saying that this guy actually, his first bit of real Trek was he did the TNG Season 8 thing, the fake one. But yeah, this guy, he said explicitly that because the sandbox nature of Trek, he's actually going to exploit that and actually use aliens from the animated series and other bits as to kind of actually make them all canon again. Like cetaceans, which makes them even more canon. He's going to pull in elements which would be really exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, we've said how many goddamn times, stop inventing new ones, use the canon. Like, there's a billion cool races. Why would you need to invent? Use them first, and then if you got a specific story reason. So the fact that he can just use them, we hope, is a really good sign, because there's a lot of good ones to use.
Yeah, and they're having a conversation in the chat about the Cation, I guess is how it's pronounced for Emrys, that's her race. But there's 3 cat-like species in Star Trek. There's the Cations, there is the Kzinti, and the Lyrans. But those are Starfleet battles. Kzinti were in the animated series, though. So
you forgot an important one, Stuart. The three-breasted woman in 5.
Boobed one. Yes,
Another
this is
cat
true.
Species.
I mean, that could be a Lyran. We haven't really seen the Lyrans yet, so who knows? But there you go.
Lyran hooker. Good times.
Right.
But that's exciting for me that we can see all that stuff, because, like I say, there's no makeup cost. It's animated, and you haven't got the animated series sort of just making stuff up as they went along. You actually now got all these years. I mean, we should see Xindi, and the fact that they are just after TNG. I mean,
Anyway, Fleet Paw Swiftback puts in $4.99
Hey.
For Sam's pretty face. LOL.
Pretty face.
Were there any hints as to whether or not we will be hearing some familiar voices? No hints in that regard, but I'm sure we'll have one or two.
There was.
Was there?
Yep.
I must have been asleep for that.
The very last question was, because you take place. It wasn't my question; it was someone else's questions. Because you take place where you do. Are we going to see old characters return? And the guy said, "Well, I mean, we're at the same time as Next Generation, and all the characters are out there, so it'd only make sense, wouldn't it?'t
Yeah. Okay,
And
you're
bye,
right.
everyone."
Yeah, that was the last question. You're right.
Yeah.
I did like your question though. Are you gonna play your? Are you gonna play your question?
Yeah. If I can find it. I should be able to. Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'll read the other super chats. Jill47 is here. Jill, long time no see, but
welcome back.
Welcome back. We've missed you. Your absence has been felt. She puts in $2, so thank you very much, Jill. Finished my rewatch of the whole TNG series. Yay! Oh my God, the whole series. That's why she wasn't here. She was taking time out to watch every one of them. But we're still on season 1.
Are you going to double rewatch with us though, Jill? Because otherwise you're going to forget the stuff that's in the episode we just watched. Because that's important, Jill. Your comments are important.
Yes. Jarzia puts in $2 Canadian. The breastolitins. Yes. That's the three boobed cat people, probably. Sure. There you go.
Sure.
But yeah, you're right, and they do talk about the crew members on the show Lower Decks they think that Picard and all these guys are like heroes. Their names are known, so they're going to be referenced and talked about. But you're right, he did say that there was the way he said it. Yeah, it's implied that there's going to be some familiar voices coming back. So that'd be cool.
The way he said it is already written in like 2 or 3. I guarantee they've got a couple. I mean, if they were really smart, they'd have Patrick in as a double promotion thing. That's how I would pitch that. Especially if you can then tell part of the post-Nemesis story in Lower Decks with Picard and or Data. I mean, that's it. What better dual promotion can you get than having both? I mean, they're already under contract. They're already in the show. They're already in the Paramount lot. Whatever. Just go next door and film.
Or we're not sure when this takes place in the TNG timeline. It could be during the 7-year. Oh, we have the date.
1 year after Nemesis. Yeah.
Oh, after Nemesis. Never mind then. I was going to say you could tie in original clips if it was overlapping timeline wise, but yeah, okay. Yeah. Fine. Be that way. I missed that too, apparently.
Well, I was close in filming, so I guess I was paying more attention.
You probably rewatched the clips back
I haven't
watched them. Oh.
I just to be fair though, when you film you sort of have a whole different you're obviously more focused.
Yes.
There's a part of that. And your video clips are in a stupid MOV Apple format that sucks. I have to convert them first because they're a bitch format. Because it's an iPhone.
Anyway, do you want to just talk about your question then, and then you can play it when you finally figure it out?
Yeah, I just gotta re-find it. Let me make sure it's converting first. Okay, there they are. Boop, boop.
Because we did find out this is Prime Timeline. It is going to be considered canon. So.
Is that what he said?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So yeah, my question, and if I bring back up on the graphics, you can see why I thought it was important. And I mean, you know me, I don't really like public speaking. I don't really like, even though we're doing this.
Complete. Oh no, that's not good.
Now some kilobits again. Hey, I told you all. I mean, I said. I warned specifically about this. Everyone refresh. Click refresh.
Yes, we're back.
Everyone click refresh. It's important. Do it just cause.
And Shivardi Star says Cetacean spelling, I don't know, is the name of the institute in Star Trek 4. No, that's the Cetacean Institute. Different.
In the past.
Yes.
In the past.
I'm going to address Eugene's super chat right now of 750 rubles. Thank you very much. Every time you say Cation, I react crustacean. Wait, what? Is there some canon media where the term Cation is actually pronounced? I prefer Katian. I think it is in the animated series mentioned at least once. Don't quote me on that though, but yes, it's. I've probably been saying it wrong for years. It's just the way I am. Sorry.
That's one of those things. If you've never heard it spoken, how would you know how it's spelt? I mean, or the other way around. You know how.
I know it's spelled. I just don't know how it's spoken necessarily.
Yeah,
I think it was mentioned once. But
it was quite a few episodes. They had time. You know.
Yeah.
But as we can see, guys, on the screen, you've got the new costumes, the new uniforms, and
Yes.
as soon as we knew what, that's why I want to know what part of the timeline it's in, because, you know, if it's 10 years between Picard and Picard, you know, the two different Picard shows, that would tell us something. But the fact that it's 1 year after is really interesting. It really sort of is weird. And so my direct question about these uniforms is, you know, hey, Mr. Man that runs the show, new post-Nemesis, you're the very first post-Nemesis because you're literally the next year. Are these uniforms canon? Talk about the design. And I love when they say things that we know. He said, well, you might know that in Generations there's an unused uniform concept. We're based on that. I'm like, that's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said. Which is great. And I'll talk about the second part of the question in a moment. What do you think about that, Stuart? That we called it, and about the link there and the thought process. And yeah.
Well, yeah, and the way he explained it was this type of starship that they're serving on, those are the canon uniforms. Whether that'll be all Starfleet, he didn't say. He said at least on this particular kind of ship. So we know their mission. I might as well tell that now. The mission for the crew on this ship is second contact. So the big boys go in, the Galaxy classes and all that. They did establish first contact. Then these guys roll in later, and as they said, they test out all the local restaurants. They set up the communications equipment.
Not a joke.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, just to clarify, it's not a joke.
So it's gonna add to the nuance of the lore to see these second contacts and be like, well, the first guy, you know, this happened or whatever, and now we're having issues with the food. This one's poisonous. Oh my God, somebody's allergic to this one.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is going to be happening, and that's where the humor is going to come in, I think. So it's going to be good that way. So their second contact mission team, and their ship is we got some ship information, which is nice. The USS Cerritos, which is a California class. So the California class of ships are what they're serving on. Haven't seen them yet, but apparently they're all going to have different city names from California as the ship names. So that's the ongoing joke there. So, but yeah, so there we got a little taste of ship news for Trekyards, which is nice.
And it's interesting how he both answered and weaseled out my question.
Yes.
You know, he was saying, well, you know, a lot of things are in the works right now with Picard and stuff. Although I was thinking, you know, it's 20 years, mate. You can be the one in between. But I'm thinking that he has the rule that, you know, anything you do can be superseded by anything we do at live action. So you can't call your uniform the next official. If we decide to do a flashback, we're not using your uniform, mate. And it's like, oh. So hence why I think they're differentiating to each ship, because then you can just throw out anything you want. And it allows for sort of obviously in TOS we had each ship had their own crest, or they didn't. Both are canon, both are correct.
Yes.
Literally, you can't really argue both fullest, because you can argue the other way as well. So it's not unheard of that ships have different things, but I hate that different ships have different uniforms, unless like one has built-in scanners and one has built-in, you know, anti-temporal lace, which, you know, for time, you know, that yes, a functional reason, but just because we're a different class of ship, it's like a uniform, Stuart. It's in the name. Everyone's uniform. One uniform. It's in the name.
I get it, but you know, there's different types of uniforms. There's the dress uniform, there's the standard uniform, there's the combat uniform. Even in the military, they have different versions of things. So I have no issue with a certain.
But you know, they're trying to be just the standard uniform of this class of ship. You know, it's like if you served on aircraft carrier A or aircraft carrier B, you have radically different uniforms. Why? Just because. It's like, oh.
So you can easily identify where you belong.
I mean, sure.
Just follow the people with the same uniforms as you. That way you don't get lost.
I just think it means they can sell more uniforms. They can, and any sort of breaking canon, they just say, "Oh, it's a different ship," you know.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, they can ruin certain things. It's fine. I was hoping these would just be the uniforms. You know, they're sort of the same yet different. But it's kind of like with the tricorder. The tricorder is so poorly drawn that you can't sort of, you know, to make that as a prop is like, look, a little box. So you can't.
Well,
you're
gonna see
value,
people dressed.
You know?
You're gonna see people dressed as these animated characters for sure, with animated style props. I mean, one of the cosplays we saw in Vegas was Amigo Spock.
Yes.
He had the Migo uniform with the stitching was amazing. Had the Migo phaser and Migo communicator. So I mean, that's going to be a thing, and that's going to be cool.
That's fine, totally buy that. But I mean, that it's trying to be silly. That's why it's hard to kind of say canon for cartoon, because you're not going to draw everything to the correct proportions, and so then you have to re-sketch it for reality.
Yeah,
which means it's not the same. It's not going to look the same. You know, it just, you know. If you know it's canon, just make it correct the first time.
Yeah.
You know, but then they've got to worry about all the correct scale and just like it adds more problems to people.
And Brandon D says it should have been called a Contact Beta Starship or CBS class. That's hilarious. Second Contact. I like that.
That's dumb.
And Mark Lawrence says he will cosplay as an animated character. So we're holding you to that, Mark. Next time we see you, we want to see part of it, at least maybe just the props. I don't care. Stream resumed.
Well, I think it's doing pretty well considering.
Yes, I don't know if you had heard me there when I was. You were frozen, so. But yeah, I mean, I'm not excited. I like the second Contact. I think there's a lot of room for possibilities there, and I love how before they started the show, they had everybody watch the episode Lower Decks to get a feel for what they were going for. You know, they don't necessarily know what the main officers are going to be up to. I think it's going to be really well done, and I'm excited for it now. The animation style is kind of growing on me, to be honest, and we'll have to see how it goes.
Well, it helps, you know, when you take something so abstract as animated, you take it with that pinch of salt of, yeah, but it doesn't really look like that. You know, it's like if we see a ship and it's mangled out of proportion, like, you know, in the Countdown comics, they completely F up the Enterprise E's proportions.
Yeah, a few times.
And it's like, well, then you can't take it seriously. I mean, there's artistic license, whereas you look at the Mirror comics that we saw at Vegas, and they're gorgeously represented exactly right. And it's like, I mean, you get a certain realism with that. So this style doesn't give you that realistic vibe, and so you sort of ignore it partially. It's like, well, I mean, it's not really what the Trek universe looks like. But if the stories are super, super good, which is obviously the most important thing, then the animation style, like I say, will just grow on us because that's a damn good episode of Star Trek, you know.
And Irk the Bat, CBS Paramount merger announced. Yes, we're going to talk about that probably tomorrow on a live. It's breaking news. We'll see.
It always makes me laugh that people message us saying, "Have you read this?" And it's like, yeah.
Well, sometimes I haven't, though, so I appreciate those messages. So keep sending them.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, sometimes we'll get like 14 within like 2 hours. It's like, oh.
But it does take that first one to see it. And then everyone else is like, yeah, we saw it. You know. We saw it, you know, 1 minute after it came out.
People are going to get our thoughts on it. That's why they send it to us, so it's fine.
And then we do a live and we say, yes, thank you to the fans for sending it to us, because
and now that it's kind of... Yeah, and now that it's kind of official, now we'll talk about it. I mean, it's been in the rumor mill for a while, back and forth, and we just, So we'll get to it probably tomorrow. That'll be what the live is on tomorrow. So if you're interested in our thoughts on that, by all means, tune in then. But yeah, I mean, this opens up this show, Lower Decks. I hope they do action figures for it. To be honest, if it's really good. I would love to get the little action figures for this. I think that'd be kind of neat. Like I said, the animation style is growing on me, and I'm not one usually to go back on what I say, but I was really not looking forward to it, and now I'm kind of excited again. So until they release some trailer that absolutely sucks balls, I'm going to be on board.
And the big reason why there was nothing to show, and he semi-apologized, more in a we wish we could but we can't. rationale was we're way too early. Yes, we have lots of stuff we could show, but it would not represent the final quality. And so, obviously, I'm sure he was a fan of Trek when the Discovery Season 1 pre-trailer came out, and it's like, it was crap. It was bad. It was made in a week, and you can tell, la la la, and that gave them nothing but backlash, and didn't reflect the final thing in any shape, way, or form. And so, yeah, if you save it for 6 months and release it when it's ready, you actually represent the correct quality. And so I can see them, they're waiting and until it's a bit more ready to show, which is good because hopefully we'll see a more realized ship, and then we can just say, "Oh yes, let's talk about it, the ship."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it would have been cool to see concept sketches of the ship and stuff, but then you would have got our expectations would have got high, and then we actually see it on screen and be like, "Oh, it's not what we expected." Yeah. So, I'm glad they didn't show that kind of thing, but I would have liked to see the final ship design. I'm sure they have it nailed down already.
Yeah, I doubt it's made though, because again, they're really early on. They haven't even filmed. Did they even say they've actually filmed anything yet? I don't know if they said that.
That I'm not sure of. No.
I think they might have said we haven't actually recorded anything yet.
I don't recall that per se, but I don't remember them saying much about that.
I mean, they're early. This is kind of what they have to show us these bits. I wouldn't be surprised if the characters change a little bit. I think they also disclaimed this isn't the final stuff either.
This is not their final form. Dun dun dun. Yeah. But yeah, somebody asked him if the doctor, who's the cat lady, would purr like Emrys does, because Emrys, when she speaks, has a very kind of vibe. But this one's going to be gruff, and old gruff doctor, much like McCoy, they said. So kind of, look forward to that at least. Maybe I'd love to see her cack up like a hairball.
I think they talked about that as well. I think they mentioned that vaguely. Yeah. Yeah,
on like one of the bio beds. That'd be funny.
I mean,
on a patient.
I mean, it's a comedy show. They need to make laughs, and fortunately, a lot of laughs are cheap laughs. To no necessarily lower, but I'm sure, unfortunately, there'll be poop jokes and fart jokes. They walk up to an alien planet and they fart, and it's like, "Oh my god, that smells so bad," and they're like, "What? That's our ceremonial language," and they're like, "Ooh."
That's how we that's how we greet people.
Exactly. Yes. They're gonna have shitty humor like that.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah. But that in itself is not a bad thing.
No, it can be done well.
Weirdly enough, you can have smart, dumb jokes. You know what I mean? You can. Mm-hmm. But this is where the main guy impressed me and got me excited conceptually, because he seemed to kind of get it.
Yeah. And Dan23 says, "I do email you info at times." You do indeed, and thank you very much for that, because sometimes it's very helpful. Other times it's like, "Oh, we've seen that, but thank you, Dan. I appreciate it." So just wanted to call that out.
So obviously we've got our ears or the nose to the grindstone a lot on this stuff, so we're likely to see pretty quick. But yes, we certainly appreciate. So what do you think about these uniforms now that you've had some time to, like, after everything we've now seen, heard, and in the panel, what do you think of the uniform now, knowing how and where it fits?
I like it. I really do. And I do like the fact that it's for, like, let's say, scientific or second contact ships. I think that's a great idea. And I do like the look of it. It's kind of sharp looking. I can see it imagined into a real style uniform. And I think it's great, actually. You still have the picture of Ensign Mariner up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's got more of the relaxed feel with the sleeves pushed up.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't think any of the other characters really have that.
No.
But I kind of like that, like...
That's a great point. Here's a non-roll-up sleeves one.
Yeah. So, I mean, I personally like the uniforms. So, I guess my next question then is to you. What do you think of the uniforms?
I think the same. My only slight concern is the comm badge, because that is obviously not the next comm badge after Nemesis. That's stupid. But I think they're just... or we'll just put a Delta, who cares? Or they haven't finished the design yet, or maybe because they haven't shown the Picard Delta yet, they're saving that.
Maybe.
But again, one off Nemesis feels a little bit contrived. doesn't need to be, but it feels a little bit contrived. It's like, oh look, the franchise ended, and then the year later everything got changed. What a coincidence! It's as if it's all linked somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's nice. Like I said before, it feels very much like post-Dominion War. We want to look more peaceful. Let's bring back the colours.
You know,
Yep.
we never considered this before.
Okay.
Kind of switching gears to the Picard badge. You know how they have the visitor badge, which they've shown, which is sideways and it's cut out and says visitor. How do we know that the real comm badges aren't the exact same? Instead of visitor, it says captain or ensign.
Or in
just
terms
the
of,
sideways.
or if Giorgio was from that era, lunch.
Oh, see, lunch special. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't know. I think for animation reasons, they're going to keep it as simplistic as possible for the comm badges. So I think that delta is what they're going to stick with.
Which is why it's hard to go with cartoon to canon, because that doesn't work at all as a correct comm badge for this era, for this ship. Doesn't work. And Dan 23 does say there were some Oberth class ships where the crew were wearing a different uniform, civilian / scientists.
Yeah, scientific research vessels. Yes.
Yeah, Starfleet is uniformed / rollout with some holdovers, but it's a uniform. Whereas other ships, like look at the Miranda class and Naked Now, they ain't Starfleet. They're just they have an old Miranda class ship. Yay! Was it the Erenstovsky SS Erenstovsky something like that?
I can't say it. The Tchaikovsky.
That was pretty close.
Yeah.
So let's talk about characters for a second, because they did actually go through the list. I don't remember.
They did.
I don't remember in what order. So we'll go from Ensign Bulmer first. Now what can I remember about him? I mean, they're all noobs. That's. I think he didn't. I think didn't it say he's like a Riker?
Excuse me. Stream died. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? The stream died. Oh, it's back down. All right.
Didn't they say
they're all.
Bulmer was like a Riker wannabe? Wasn't that something they said?
Yes, but he's very nervous. He's very nervous and twitchy.
He's the nervous one. Okay.
Yes.
Episode happening in it, but not.
And you can see that in the characterization they have there of him, just the way his stance and everything.
Yes. That was about.
That's all I remember about him, to be honest. So, who's next?
It is the lady, Ensign Tawny. Now, they said she was the kick-ass security kick-ass lady with all the kick-ass. She kicks ass.
Yes, and she should be a much higher rank at this point, but she keeps doing stupid shit that gets her demoted and gets her, like, holding her back. So she's probably the most qualified out of all the characters we're going to see to be the leader, because she should be a higher rank, but she keeps doing stupid things and gets held back in rank. So yeah, that's what they said about her, and she knows a couple different forms of martial arts and things like that, and is a big fan of Worf. I think they said Worf is like somebody she looks up to. I remember something about Worf with her, and she's carrying a bat'leth, so I mean it makes sense.
Then you had I remember the engineer guy. So he was a character that said he's very good at what he does, but he was injured and has to have this operation, kind of the Forge. Whereas when LaForge, he's had it for a long, long time, the visor and precursors. This guy literally just had this done, so he doesn't quite know how to do it, how to work it, how to being now part, mechanoid, and it's not going great for him.
Yeah. So newly cybernized person,
Yes.
I guess, and it's probably still itchy,
Yeah.
things like that, and getting used to it. It's probably going to be disorientation or. Set it to the wrong setting and have X-ray vision, be able to see through people's clothes, stuff like that. Probably.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah.
I can see a lot of things like that going on. So, I thought that was great, actually. That he's not used to it. It's not like he was born blind like Geordi was. So, yeah, very cool. Great concept.
It's simple, but it's it's a different take on the Geordi thing. Then you got Ensign Tendai, which was fun.
Yes.
She's the one that intrigued me most in the sense that she is confirmed a Orion, which is the most exciting piece. That's yes, they are part of the Federation. He said that's quite a brave choice to go Orion. I mean, there's nothing really that defines the species in this era because we've only ever seen them in the barbaric era where the men and female kept swapping slavery roles. So it's not exactly the best we've seen of their culture ever, actually. But they said that she's so bloody happy to be there. Yep.
And it's like her first day.
Yes.
When the show starts, it's like her first day on the job. So she's super stoked to be on a starship, be out in space, doing their thing. So she's going to be that upbeat, positive, Tilly-like character.
Better, I think.
Without being, without being, the kind of the oddness about her. She's going to be like very gung ho, I think.
Well, they said that any job you give her, she'll be like, "Yes, sir. Go clean the plastic corners. Yes, sir." And she'll do it with pep and
go clean the toilets.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is and also she said she is a fan of Star Trek in Star Trek.
Yes.
She's a fan of the Federation, a fan of what they're doing. So she's the most audience perspective, which is great.
Yeah.
She loves being there, and then you can definitely relate through the character, which is awesome. I can see this being a big cosplay, because it would, either an Orion slave girl or an Orion slave man, and now you could be an Orion Starfleet officer. Yay!
Well, I love the hairstyle. It's exactly like our friend Sabrina. Her hairstyle is exactly like that right now.
Who?
Only it's rainbow colored, not green. Oh, shade! Don't even start. But I mean, if she just went green, it would look exactly the same as that. So that's very cool. Not that she's a Star Trek fan, though. We'll have to work on that.
She's a Captain Foley fan.
She is. Who isn't, though, right?
Yes. And guys, do super chat. 87p, which is not a lot of people, which is sad because we're excited about the show now and no one else seems to be because there's less people watching. But super chat, we're here to support the channel. Let me want to talk.
Well, 82 of you here. Everybody hit like, first of all. Hit like. Make sure you're subscribed. And then super chat us all your money. I mean, whatever you can afford.
Yes. And Raj, it's 23.80.
Yes. And ask us some questions. We love answering questions. Plus, it keeps the conversation going longer. We're running out of things to say that we learned in the lower decks panel. So,
we're here to have fun with y'all. And this is the senior staff.
Yes.
Which was the noteworthy crew. But they said these are not the focus people, but these guys are generally good at their job. These guys are not the flawed people. They are exactly what you expect for a Starfleet crew. So they're not going to go that old adage where they're dumb, making fun of the higher ups. They are actually quality officers. You just don't focus on them,
Yeah. And didn't learn too much about them except that the doctor doesn't purr like MRS does. She's got more of a gruff attitude, and she looks like an alley cat. Looks like she's been through a lot, so she looks a little rough around the edges. The big guy there, he is a Bajoran, in case you couldn't tell.
Yes.
Not much said about them. I don't remember much said about these guys actually.
Let's think. Yeah, Bajoran Beefcake, the lady called him. The guy with the scruff, I think they said, like a really smooth talking, hey, kind of officer. Kind of like Riker, the most Riker in the crew. And the captain's just a kick-ass, good, just a good kick-ass officer again. But I think they mentioned in the panel that black. Does that make sense, Stuart?
Yeah. I didn't hear much of it. Yes. Oh, I didn't hear much of it.
I said the guy with the
voicemail
scruff.
Sketchy. You froze.
I said the guy with the scruff is like Riker, smooth talker.
Yes.
And the main lady is kick-ass. Although I said they did mention that they're proud to have a black female captain. But I appreciate they didn't say much about her being a black female captain because that shouldn't play any part into it. She just is a black female captain. Like, don't make a big thing of it. 'Cause you shouldn't. She's just a captain.
Yes. Martinez says episodic or serialized series. From what I gathered, it's going to be episodic. It's animated, so I mean, don't expect too much.
I would assume there's you can't really have fully serialized anymore. Doesn't really work. You've got to have some sort of arcs, not necessarily the grand scheme, but like one character loses a pet in episode 2, episode 7 they bitch about it to and then by episode 13 they get a dog, and by episode 18, what I mean? That sort of arc. Now it's weird. They said explicitly before the convention it's a 40-minute show, and they said explicitly at the event it's a 30-minute show, which is completely different format. From episodes to not episodes in the sense of full episodes. So I think I guess maybe they weren't meant to announce that. But it's a full 22 episode arc. So we're getting more. This is the biggest Trek season we've had in like 12 years, which is great.
And Shannon Nash asks, "Is Ransom connected to Captain Ransom?" And I don't know.
No.
I could see that being a cool link, but I don't think that's the case necessarily. So.
Well, it could be like his uncle,
brother.
The one that got lost. Well, I think he's younger than that. This is Nemesis, which is like 7 years. I guess younger brother, like much younger, like 10 years.
It could have been his young brother.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, it'd be fun. But you don't need to make everyone connected. Yeah. They might just like the name Ransom.
Yeah. Jeff Jacobs puts in $5, paying for 50 and 100 on Faith, as I have to leave soon. Thanks for all of your patience with our streaming issues. We are doing all we can. Yes, we are indeed. And thank you, Jeff, for helping out. Have fun doing whatever you need to do, and be safe, and see you next time.
Yeah. Although,
but everybody hit like.
Yes, and subscribe. Although, do everything we can do. There's nothing I can do. It is what it is, and I've lowered the quality as far as I can go to get it as good as possible. So, yes.
And Jarzia puts in $2 Canadian and says, "Could Bender be the first Bajoran that Foley actually likes?" I mean, anything is possible. As you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of Bajorans overall, because I guess I'm speciesist or racist. I just don't like their characters, most of them in DS9. There's a few that aren't bad. But yeah, I would love to be able to like this guy. So we'll see. That'll be a fun thing to explore as the show continues.
Although, I mean, it's not the same voice actor, so it doesn't look like Bender. So I don't know where you're getting that parallel from.
Yeah, I don't know why she said Bender. But...
Weird. But let me play a clip from the panel. Because yay, fancy. I have no idea what they're going to say. So, enjoy.
Seth MacFarlane is the perfect person to be doing that show, because the guy literally used to build enterprises in his basement made out of
the
cardboard.
Orville.
And
the question was, is it going to be the same as the Orville, yay or nay?
He obviously has such an opinion on the kind of show he wants to make for that. And I think what he's doing with it is like magical. Like, I can't believe that show exists, because it's like it fell out of another dimension from the 90s. Like, it's insane. I think that the kind of just, my comedic voice is really different from his, and the types of stories we're doing are, our show feels like if a Deep Space Nine feels like drinking like a nice, slow cup of coffee that's just like expertly made, our show feels like getting a cup of coffee thrown in your face, and then you fall downstairs, and then you're there, and you're like, what the hell just happened? You still got the coffee. I'm awake, oh my God. So I just think that there's like a million different reasons why the shows are going to feel different, but I will say that like from Rick and Morty, like I was a huge Rick and Morty fan. At Rick and Morty, I'm a huge Futurama fan. Other Space, Final Space, Red Dwarf, like there's so many amazing. Yeah,
You're gonna do a new Hitchhiker's Guide show.
Oh, I mean, Hitchhiker's Guide. That like I'm always reading sci-fi books. I love comedy sci-fi, and I think that because our characters aren't on the Orville, we're never going to actually cross over. We're doing different things, but it's a great time to be a comedy sci-fi nerd all of a sudden.
Absolutely.
Galaxy Quest, I think, is one of the best movies ever made. I'm like, so I think there's room for everybody on that.
Thank you very much.
At this very convention, Mike.
Right from the show floor. Let's be asked about the Orville and not. But I think his summary to that was, the Orville's the Orville because it's the Orville. Star Trek will never be the Orville because there's Star Trek to pull from. It's pretty simple.
Love the analogy with the coffee, though. If DS9's a nice made cup of coffee, this one's like, here's coffee, throw it in your face, fall down. It's going to be very speedy. Well, it's animated, so it's got that different pace to it, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, and shorter. I mean, you've got to tell a cohesive story in a short time.
I think there's going to be a lot of parallels when the show comes out. There's going to be a lot of parallels drawn between this and Futurama, because I have a feeling it's going to be the same kind of stories and same kind of vibe, same kind of pacing,
Yeah.
Hopefully, same kind of writing as well. And Futurama is fantastic. It is one of my favorite shows. So
And it got better and better, but it was damn good from day one. It just wasn't
yeah,
as like complex.
yeah,
I mean, it's not much better than Futurama. Yeah, and I mean it's so good that he got 3 revivals, which is absurd.
absolutely. Yeah.
What do you think? I can't remember all of the ending, but you've seen the last episode?
Which one?
The actual
A
last
few
episode.
Probably. What happens in it?
Well, I don't want to re-spoil it because I saw half remember. So, do you remember any sense of the vibe you had watching that? I guess not. If you don't.
No, I don't. I haven't watched Futurama in quite a while.
Yeah.
And I think I might have missed the last little bit of it.
I quite liked when they actually got it because they got like 4 movies which were each 3 episodes, and they're all directly linked. So the last like 2 minutes was the next one, and they got a full season, which was weird because it's like we were cancelled. We're back for movies. Had a TV show again, and it wasn't as good by any means, but it was definitely fun to see it. You could tell like some of the stuff had got more complicated in the time.
Yeah.
But I think with the final episode, they're like, yeah, we'll actually do a final episode just in case. You know, I think it was a nice final episode, fitting. I think it's a good phrase.
Did Fry and Lita switch body? And Fry was a girl, and it ended on like that weird should be a last episode thing. I'm talking TOS here.
Yes.
No, nothing like that. It felt like a finale.
I wouldn't say, yeah. I mean, a final, a chapter to give you some closure potentially. I mean, that show could and should have gone forever. I mean, it's sad though. The Simpsons can continue, but Futurama can't. It was always better. You know, and when the Simpsons kind of got not worse through time, but for 10 seasons in the middle, it was subpar. Futurama was always good.
And now I don't know anybody that watches Simpsons. I'm surprised it's still in the air. No one I know watches it because it's just crap now.
I mean, I saw last year's, and I was quite like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Yeah. I think they've done some better ones. I think they know the stigma around them, so they had to try harder last year or last couple of years. But yeah, But I think the parallel there is very, very
Cool.
useful. That it'll be much more Futurama than Orville.
Yeah, but I think there's going to be a lot of similarities, John, between that and Futurama. What?
Wow, you went very squiddly there.
I heard the parallels there could be very, very useful.
Hey, it's mostly working, guys. It's mostly working.
But yeah, people are gonna compare it to the Orville. They're gonna compare it to Futurama, and probably Family Guy. There's gonna be some Family Guy comparisons in there as well, I'm sure. So we'll see how it falls in that. Well, obviously Rick and Morty as well, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this show goes. I'm really excited for it now. After hearing the panel and the enthusiasm that these guys have for Star Trek, and I'm just excited now.
The red bar waiting for it to go green again.
Well, it says stream complete here, but
gone green again! Yay!
Yay, we're back.
Again, we're doing very well considering.
Yes. And we apologize for the inconvenience, guys.
Yep, was not our intention for my intent to box a die and then the replacement to be bad. Not my intention. Although I will say this: the writers' team that you can see here, which is I think almost all the writers' room. I think missing like 2 people. They didn't say much.
No, I noticed that nobody addressed questions to them. They didn't say much. It's kind of a shame. Like, why are you even on stage? I'd feel bad for them.
Well, they got paid either way. I think it's more just to have the presence, because they don't know what they can and can't say with nothing really been released. Whereas the showrunner can say whatever he wants. While you can fire a showrunner, you can also not fire a showrunner for making a mistake and saying something. But none of them really jumped in to say anything. None of them really had anything to add.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. I didn't really get any personalities from them really.
No.
Except that the Chinese lady who's got a hat on, which was annoying because I was trying to film and she has a hat and it's like the light's on your face. It's hard to light. She was saying that she never watched Voyager, and they gave her the a good one. You know, the one where the Doctor's an alternate version of the Doctor is found 1,000 years in the future. Yeah. And it's one of the better ones. She's like, wow, if Voyager's that good, I'll watch them all. And they're like, it's not that at all. So I mean, that's a problem. You say people are Trek fans. I mean, if you've watched the new JJ movies, you'll call yourself a Trek fan. So these days, a Trek fan, you know, not to make it an elitist club, but more people on the Earth are fans of Trek in terms of they like Trek than aren't, probably. You know, because there's such a broad spectrum of it.
Yeah.
Certainly in America and the Western world.
Yeah, and you hear that a lot. Like, yeah, I was a big fan of Trek growing up. My dad watched it all the time, and I watched it with him, even though you were just kind of in the same room, probably, or walking through. Because when you ask them questions specifically about the show, they're like, that one with the thing. It's like, oh, yeah? Yeah, that was your favorite one.
You guys know the episode name, right? Picard was there with the
flute thing.
Yeah, and you know the beard guy who's in every season. Riker, yeah, thank you. It's like, yeah, really? I was like, we're aficionados and we like the minutia, but you know, I think CBS encourages everyone that works them to over exaggerate their fandom, because I like it. It's not necessarily I'm a fan. A fan is a fanatic, and it has a certain, you know, cadence to that. Like I like Star Wars. I'm on that fine line of being a fan, like a fanatic, in the fanatic sense. I'm a fan of Star Wars, but if I don't need to memorize stuff, especially the new stuff, because it's shit for the most part. All the books I really, memorized a bit, but it's just not as good a universe. Although I happen to know stuff anyway, because I take it on by osmosis. I watch a movie, I remember it's armor and stuff. That's just me in general, but yeah. But yeah, the vibe of the team was good though, and like I said, the main guy is the most important thing. How bad is that? Kurtzman, pretty bad. He never has a very good vibe. This guy had a good vibe and gave me a lot of potential hope, or at least hope to have potential hope.
Yes, I agree with everything you just said.
Yes,
potential hope is good. So guys, we're probably going to call this a wrap soon.
Yes.
If you guys have any super chats you want to throw in, questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, and want us to read them on air, please do that now, because I think we're going to wrap this up soon. We've said all we learned about the show. We got the ship class, the California class. I think I said the name of the ship wrong, but that's all right. It is the USS Cerritos, Seritos. And so there you go. Got some little nuggets of ship information from the Trekyards guys. But yeah.
And some exclusive footage,
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully you learned something out of this. Hopefully we conveyed the information good enough that you guys are a little bit more excited about the show now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I walked away from that panel feeling pretty positive. I wish we would have got a little bit more, like a look at something besides blinking eyes.
But that's just summary of the entire event. We got a complete lack of anything, and that's a shame. They completely miscalculated the event, and it was a fail in terms of announcing stuff and showing stuff. Complete fail. But Comic-Con was great. So.
And Fleet Paw Swiftback puts in $1.99.
Yay!
It says theme song is Hotel California. Thoughts? I don't know if that would work. I think it would have I think people would be kind of annoyed with that, but I can see where they're going with that with the California class. But no, I don't think they would do that. Yeah. So.
But yeah, I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow to talk about the merger and what that could mean, or not mean, or very much mean.
All those things.
And we'll definitely do at least one TNG review this week. We'll do five weekday lives this week to try and get some income back from the lack of any lives last week. Because we've had a bad week for that, but we had a really good week with Picard, so just got to try and balance out a bit. And then next week we'll probably be back to sort of normal. We'll try and have a schedule again, and then you guys can start penciling in and whatnot. Yeah, thank you all, and we'll see if the internet does anything better on my end, but if it doesn't get better, I'm tempted to phone the internet supplier and be like, I mean, it's worse than it was a week ago because you put a new box in. So
You give him hell, Samuel.
yes,
Give him hell.
Maybe.
So until next time, when we find out the continuation of Samuel's internet story, I am Captain Foley.
I'm Kong Kongs.
Bye, guys.